Previously on the Bat.
Managing employees' performance. Endorsing publicly a rogue vigilante roaming our streets. What is going on?
We need to go, and we need to go now. There are four types of people.
People are never going to believe this.
Master Bruce. Calling Master Bruce.
Alfred,
Any updates on those hooligans who broke in the other night? The ones that took the hostages?
no. The criminal underworld is calling them the Mask. But I know one thing for certain. They didn't break in the other night for the interviewer. They broke in for Bruce Wayne.
Ah, just like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. How ironic. They went in for Bruce Wayne, but they got the Bat instead. Humor at its finest.
Is that all?
Sadly not. You have a meeting tomorrow with a bloke who wishes to turn his business into a high-performance organization. Your suit is ready for you here, at the cave, of course.
Can't this wait until morning, Alfred?
Sir, you've been out all night. It is morning.
I'm looking for Bruce Wayne.
Please, come in. Hi, Bruce Wayne.
Joe Selinsky.
Please, have a seat. So, let me get this straight. You run HR for a large organization, and you're planning on doing what again?
We're seeking to turn our department into a high-performance organization, and I've heard from someone I work for that you're successful in doing this.
Well, success looks different for every organization, but I can give you a couple of points if that would help.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay. I can divide this up into 5 different points for you. I think that would be really helpful. Well, firstly, we should probably start with the business plan. I have a dear friend, actually, his name's Chris Lang, and he said that before making a business, you always should have a business plan. Always start with a business plan, regardless if it's even a high performance one. So I recommend starting in your department with that, establishing a business plan.
But, what does that look like exactly?
But what I recommend using starting off when you're trying to design a business plan is what I like to call ADDIE, which stands for Analysis, Design, Development, Implementation, and Evaluation, with the emphasis being on the first part of that acronym, which again is analysis.
What should I analyze, though?
The best thing to start when it comes to analysis of your department, in your case, is to do what I like to call a SWOT, which is another acronym, but it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Start looking at the strengths of your department. Start looking at the weaknesses of your department. Start looking at opportunities that you're missing out on. Start looking at threats to your department, whether that be internal or external. Just start analyzing all those different things and come up with a business plan to address those.
This is really good stuff. Yeah, keep going.
Well, you mentioned that you're the head of your department in HR, so I would say let's start there. Let's look at your leadership. You need a leadership style that best fits the goals of your organization. Then you need a leadership style that has skin in the game. They're down there working with the workers, whether that be the guy at the top of the food chain or that be the guy that you're just hiring on and they're just in the onboarding process. Regardless, everyone needs to be a leader in their own way. And everyone needs to have that leadership style that best fits your goals for the organization in the long term.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I would also make sure that communication is open. Don't just encourage it, emphasize it. Don't just use it as like, here's some advice. Require it. Open communication is a must in any organization to take it from baseline to high performing. So communication is key. Also start thinking about the future. Most businesses have some sort of a 5 to 10 year plan. So in your case, for your department, have a 5 to 10 year plan. Just start outlining that. And not just plan for the future, but prepare yourself for the future as well. Start looking at the trends and how they're going and start addressing that. For example, a lot of departments, especially HR departments like yours, which is in charge of training, needs to deal with the onboarding and training process for their employees. So during COVID, right, a lot of businesses going into that had some sort of a hybrid system, had some sort of online training system that wasn't as established. It wasn't as enforced and it wasn't as developed. Once COVID hit, that became a big problem. And a lot of companies had to invest a lot of money very quickly in order to raise up that bar of their training program so that their employees can get trained and onboarded at a social distancing level. So start looking at the future, start preparing for the future. And because, like I mentioned, COVID, a lot of programs have transitioned into a hybrid system, not just because it's easier on the employees' time and easier on your time for training them, so you don't have to have in-class time the entire time, but it's also easier on the money, right? You just spend time, you have one solid curriculum that then they can teach and they can go out on their own. You don't have to hire professors for it continuously. You don't have to rent out rooms. You don't have to provide supplies anymore within the online curriculum that they already have. So I would start looking at that, start planning for the future, start preparing yourself for the future, start preparing to transition to meet the needs of the people and meet the needs of the workers that are coming in as your company develops and grows. So far, we've kind of been talking about the higher up end, right? Planning for the future, business plans, leadership style, how the higher ups need to enforce communication. But let's start talking about employees now. When you're trying to hire employees, you want to hire employees that will stay. You want to hire employees that are the future of the company. So when you're going through the onboarding process and you're going through the recruiting process and the training process, you need to keep them in mind. You need to be able to establish leadership, establish those leadership values in them, establish the goals of the organization and encourage them and kind of see the development as their goals start matching and aligning with the company's goals. You need to make sure that communication is open. And not just that, but you need to start preparing them to prepare themselves for the future. I mean, if they're going to be the ones that replace you one day, then surely they're going to have to be prepared as you're preparing yourself now. So start training them, get them prepared, give them the leadership style, and give them the ethical values of your organization, and just keep going on from there. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of reiterate that again. But number one, you need to establish a solid business plan. Number two, you need to hire leadership that will meet your company's goals. Number three, you need to hire employees and prepare them for the future. Number four, you need to enforce communication, not just encourage it, but maintain solid open communication. And number five, and most importantly in my opinion, you need to prepare for the future of the industry, or in your case, prepare for the future of your department. So is there anything else that I can help with?
I just need you to do one more thing. Stand up and put your hands on your head.
You guys were here the other night. You guys with a mask.
No, but we work for him.
You guys get one chance before this gets messy.
I like messes. Especially when it's your brains all over the floor.
Fine. Let's play things your way.
We gotta go!
They got away. Alfred, I need the car. I have work to do.
Of course, sir. Which car would you like?
The car.
Ah, yes, the car. Shall I also send you your suit as well?
Yes, quickly.
Such a shame, really. I just got the bloodstains out of it. Oh well.
Doc. Disengage autopilot.
Disengaging autopilot.
Open back hatch.
Opening rear hatch.
Sir, if you don't mind me asking, how do you expect to find this elusive masked figure?
I slipped a tracking device on Joe Zielinski when I first met him.
Joe Zielinski.
Ah, a deadly handshake indeed.
And he's leading me right to him. Descends tonight, Alfred. Descends tonight. That's Joe Zielinski. He's leading me right to them. It's a trap. The mask wants me here. But if he wants me here, that means he's here as well. He's now on the inside, waiting for me to go to them. It's showtime.
Yo, is that the bat? No! Oh, my mama, the bat's trying to get us! Yo, King, go sick it, boy! Go get her!
Punk!
I know you're here. Step out to the light.
ex-military, contractors, the best money can buy. And even then, you couldn't stop me.
I was the best. The top of the food chain. The lion in the jungle. Then Bruce Wayne came along with all his SWAT and his Abby and his business plans, his leadership ethics, his onboarding and training of employees, his planning for the future, his communication. He thinks he can bring me down, take away my business. And you think such a tough guy, huh? You think you can bring me down, huh? You think you can stop me?
You want advice? Run. Because as of now, you're no longer safe.
Sir, why didn't you turn him in? He's a criminal, isn't he?
It's not about stopping them, or any of them. It's about sending a message.
Ah, yes, the I am justice, I am vengeance spiel, I see.
No, something bigger now. Something more dangerous. Something unstoppable.
Well, sir, what could be more dangerous than vengeance? Than a dark crusader of the night?
A hero